Good evening, good evening. Test, test, test. This is Gus Perlman for ETV. We are so excited that you joined us tonight for the first home meet of the boys swim and dive. Tonight's tilt is against Burnsville Blaze. Good to see the pool filled again with these competitors. So interesting component tonight in tonight's meet. The coach of the Eagan Wildcats, Chris Morgan, he is in his 16th year, and he actually is a graduate of Burnsville High School. And I see one of the officials, Andrew Michelson. He is a former head coach of the Burnsville Blaze. So now he is the official. Incidentally, Andrew Michelson is the head coach of the girls team. The girls team is a four-time defending section champion. And then the boys team is actually, they are have defended 8 section titles back to 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 back. So definitely a rich history here for the Eagan Wildcats. So excited to see them back at the pool and donning 15 years that I've seen. So that's really exciting to see it. It should be noted that this is always a fun meet for the boys because what you're going to see is you're going to see tons of alumni that are pouring back in. As I mentioned about the pedigree, this doesn't happen by accident. The guys want to come back and enjoy. So we're going to be hearing the national anthem. All right, we are ready to get some swimming and diving in. This is going to be a great night tonight. Special thanks to Josh Sibley of ETV, who's helping to produce this tonight. And also Paul Keller. Paul Keller stepping up to get the manpower to get this done. Want to thank our camera person, my lovely wife, the Bro Queen, Margie Broman. And so the order of events go in the order that it's 200 medley relay, 200 freestyle, 200 individual medley, 50 freestyle, and then we'll have diving. And so one of the things that you should note, I always kind of envision it as kind of dividing the meet up in half. It's kind of halftime is diving, so there'll be a warm-up then, and then they'll get back to swimming again. Well, they're one team. It is different talents in order to dive as opposed to swimming. So what you'll see is the swimmers can compete in 4 events. So most of the time you'll see that they'll compete in 2 individual events and then 2 relays. On the rare occasion, you can see someone compete in 3 relays and 1 individual event. Relays are worth more points than individual events. So in terms of strategy in swim and dive is a little bit different than other sports. In swimming, it's kind of clear who your best racers are, and you'll get the racers who are in first or second. One moment, please. Can I steal your program? Thank you. I'm so sorry. Thank you. And so what goes, you get 8 points for first in a relay, and then 4 points for second, and then 2 points for third. And then for individual events, you get 6 points, 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point. So you don't need to win the event. You don't have to have your guy get first. You could get second, third, fourth, fifth, and second, third, fourth, and still win that event. So back to the strategy going on. What you'll see tonight, Eagan is historically the strongest team in the section with 8 section titles in a row. They're not going to swim their best swimmers in their best events tonight. They're going to hide those times from the conference probably. And so you'll see guys swimming their off events. So, okay, I got to take, we talked about the pedigree of this program. I'm seeing lots of big hugs of some of the alumni coming. Let me name some of them. I see Caden Keene timing in lane 2, along with Emilio Santoyo Lopez. Hans Perlman just came in. He was last year's captain. Give him big hugs. His older brother, Anders Perlman, over there talking to Quentin Steffen, who actually, I'm sorry, not Quentin. Quentin Chuck Steffen. Maybe Quentin's here. We'll look for him. But also Abi Abdalam is here. Who else do we see? So it's definitely a reunion of sorts for sure. So he's and so I just got a yell from Arvidsson. So he's timing with Caden in lane 2. So the way the timing works is the timing is all electronic. Easily the most technical sport of all high school sports to time for. So you have touch pads. The touch pads are connected to the Colorado starter. The Colorado is connected to a component, the Colorado component, which is connected to a computer, which runs Meet Manager, and then that serves up the times on the scoreboard. So out of all of the sports in all of high school, you need at least 7 parents who are running the meet. So, and it isn't just 7 willing parents; it's actually 7 parents who actually know what is going on. And so we're getting that set up. So let me go through some of the other alum that I see. I see Jacob Frost, who's attending Grand Canyon University. He's down there. And I also see Grant Wombold, who went to state in diving. He's at the University of Iowa. And I see Roni Shrista. He's on deck as well. Another alum I see who's here for his job is Tyler Husko, who's an assistant coach. The team meant so much to him that he actually stayed and is continuing to coach. So good to see all the alumni back. So a good diving lineup. Also, it's great to have Amy Carlson back. Was a diving coach at Eagan for at least 13 years. Excuse me, 10 years. The way that swim and dive works is that they always swim the JV heat first, and then once that's done, then they swim the varsity heat. So it's different than in soccer where you go to a different pool completely or a different field completely to do it. So continuing on with some of the alum, we see Reagan Wynn. He was a diver, didn't dive last year. So good to see them. The captains this evening for Eagan and all this season is Johnny Mezaritsky, Alex Cahill, Jackson Keller, and then Harrison Bowie. The coaches, as I mentioned, Chris Morgan is the head coach, and then Anthony Schmidt is the assistant coach, and then Tyler Husko is the third coach on deck. And Amy Carlson is the dive coach. Anthony, I believe, is in his fourth year, and Tyler also is the strength and conditioning coach. So when you're at club swimming costs a ton more than high school, and so Eagan many years ago said we want another coach on deck. So the booster club actually pays for an entire coach, and then 7 years ago they actually said we want to do more than just a coach, we want a strength and conditioning coach. So the boys actually have a strength and conditioning coach, which is it's way more important than you would think, because not only do they help you with lifting and getting prepared here, but once these kids graduate, they're able to take that skill set with them. They actually go off to college and they actually know how to lift well. Having 3 alum myself out of the program, all 3 of my boys, they'll go to the Y weight room and they'll see the swimmers and divers from years gone by. Should be noted that Eagan did win their first meet at Apple Valley. So there, a record was set. Jackson Keller did set a butterfly, 100 butterfly record. Boy, was that a long-standing record, too. I mean, even though Apple Valley probably isn't one of the best schools for swimming now, boy, did they used to be. All right, this is fantastic. We're into swimming now. What you're seeing here is the 200-yard medley relay for junior varsity. The backstrokers in the water in lane 3 there. Closest to you, that is Ethan Schumacher. He's a freshman. In lane 5 is Carlos Conlon. And so also new for the Wildcats this year are white swim caps. First in the history of the school to have white. Easy to see, hopefully easy to read the numbers. All right, lane 5, that's Neil Nadala in the water. Lane 3, that's Paz Budzine. So you say, okay, we start with the backstroke, then we go breaststroke, then we go butterfly free. You say, hey, why do we start with the backstroke? I'll tell you. You tell me, how could you do a backstroke if you were on the block? So backstroke is the only stroke that you start in the water on, and so that's why we start with the backstroke first for the relays. In lane 5 on the blocks, that is freshman Michael Boom getting ready to go. Nice clean exchange there. And then in lane 3, that's Kuldeep Ratchabatuni. If you're keeping tracks of time and splits here, what you'll notice is that a relay start is always faster than an individual start, and that's because you can kind of be rocking and getting ready to go. In an individual, they make sure that your body is completely still, so you see the running start. So watch Colin Ford. Oh, sorry, that was Lucas Hanna kind of had that running start, but look in lane 5, Colin Ford, as he's getting ready to go. Actually, we'll be looking at Lucas Hanna going down on that flip turn. Nice. Colin Ford stayed on the blocks. Seeing Lucas Hanna coming in. Finishing off with the freestyle. Colin Ford is a freshman. Last year with Lucas Hanna was a freshman. It's good to see him back. It's evident that freestyle is quite fast already, so it's good to see. All right, Colin touching in. There we go, finishes it up. That's going to get us to the 200-yard medley relay varsity. Wildcats will have three lanes, and then Burnsville Blaze will have 2 lanes in this. When you're at home, Eagan always swims in the odd lanes, which is 1, 3, and 5. And 1 is closest to you on the camera. And lane 6 is on top of your screen here. And they always seed the fastest. The fastest seed time is always in the middle of the pool. So what you see here in lane 1 is a sophomore, Riley McRoberts. In lane 3 for the Wildcats is Derek Bango. Lane 5 is Renus Henis Cook for Burnsville. And lane 2 is Troy Jackson. Lane 4 is Luke Thorpe. Bango getting out strong there in the backstroke. That's Thomas Keller on the blocks for the Wildcats. In lane 3, he's in the water. Lane 5, that's William Wynn diving in. And then for the Cats in lane 1 is Aiden Smith. For the Burnsville Blaze in lane 2, Brian Chahoy. Lane 4 is Ben Edwards. Good pull there. Thomas getting some nice long. Not a breaststroker, he's historically a freestyle, so we're seeing some mixing up going on. Bowie off the blocks, could be going into a fly in lane 3. Lane 5, that's Ben Currens. 1, Mason Dettering, the freshman. Off the blocks for the Blaze almost simultaneously. In lane 2 is Jack Steglich. Lane 4 is Matthias Wong. Harrison coming in hot, nicely done. That kicks it off to Alex Bango. Lane 5, that's Dobbin Chong in the water. Your next swimmer touching in is going to be Jack Steglich, kicking off Justin Joubert. And then lane 1 is Vedon Shrista. And then lane 2, I'm sorry, that's Justin Joubert. Sam Edwards is in lane 4. It's a good time, 1:48.77. These are the first time, so we don't have seed times coming in quite yet. 1:53.84. And then lane 1, 2:02.11. All right, and then we're done there. So you can see the times there. Lane 3 got first place, and then lane 5. So both the Eagan relays got first and second there. So we're only 1 swimmer for the JV race here. Oh, I guess we're, well, there's only 1. That's awesome. Calvin Choi for the sophomore for the Burnsville Blaze is going at it, the 200 free. So once again, the scoring works. 8 points for first place, 4 points for second, and 2 points for third for the relays. For the individual events, it goes 6 points for first place, and then second place is 4, third place is 3, fourth place is 2, fifth place is 1. So it's really important to get a point in every race. So you never wanna be 6. So good for Calvin here doing a 200 freestyle alone. That's not easy. In fact, talk about not easy. That all last season was not easy. All last season, due to the government restrictions, it was there were no meets swum, it was just time trials. So one team would swim in Eagan, one team would swim in Burnsville. And so you really weren't racing against anyone. You were basically racing like Calvin here, and then you just kind of had to load up the times in the computer and see what happens. So Calvin going strong. The 200 freestyle is the second longest event in high school swimming. So you're in the water for quite some time. Just highlighting what the 500-yard freestyle is. There's only 3 swimmers. They're all from Eagan, and there is no JV heat for the 500-yard freestyle. So Calvin doing a good job. Let's see what his split is here. You want to get that kick going. Does a flip turn here. His split there is a 45.64. He's digging deep. Some pointers on style when you're looking at swimming is your motor's in the back. Your motor's the kick. It doesn't matter with your arms as much, but it's more of your kick. And you kind of want to be a little bit more streamlined, but Calvin is just digging deep. Now he knows that he's in his back half here. You'll see the timer that's out there. The first touch is actually the Colorado timer, but we also have humans that actually are backup timers. So the pad is the first, and then the humans are the second. Good job by Calvin, touching in at a 2:43.79. Crowd goes wild. We're going to mark that down, and we're going to see how he does against this varsity heat. Early on in the season, the coaches may or may not know who actually is the fastest. Oh, you have 2 guys that just jumped in the pool, but it's a freestyle, so they can swim whatever the stroke that they want. Most of the time you see the front crawl, but by definition you can swim whatever. So you see the 2 guys, Derek Bango in lane 3 doing a backstroke. Lane 4, Matthias Wong also doing a backstroke. So in theory, the guys who are swimming the crawl should go a little bit faster, but both these guys are coming off a club season where they're probably tapered and want to get a time for a 200-yard backstroke. So back to who else is swimming this. Kuldeep Ratchabatuni is lane 1 for the Wildcats. We'd mentioned Derek Bango in lane 3, and then that is Riley McRoberts, a sophomore, in lane 5. For the Burnsville Blaze in lane 2 is Pierre Demoulin. Lane 4, Matthias Wong, who's swimming backstroke and hanging with things right there. And then also Daniel Rojas in lane 6. So at the halfway point, the backstrokers are keeping pace there. Fun to see a little bit different, and it's thank you ETV for bringing this right into your home, and you guys can see something unusual. And would have liked to have seen Jackson Keller swim the 200 butterfly here, but I guess he kind of opted out. So coming in for the touch here, you look at the flip turn, see how you kind of have to just count your strokes when you're doing the backstroke, because your eyes are on the. Matthias Wong doing a great job, just keeping pace there. Pretty incredible backstroker to be able to be out in front. His seed time is a 2:08. I don't think he'll beat it tonight. It's at 2:03 right now, but still, great job. All right, good for him. 2:09.92 for Matthias Wong. Bango touching in at a 2:14.12. 2:14.28 for Riley McRoberts. And then lane 1, Kuldeep, getting a 2:19.23. Lane 2 was in 5th place, Pierre Demoulin. Touching in there as Lane 6, Daniel Rojas, a 2:38.52. All right, now we have the 200-yard IM junior varsity. This features all the strokes. So you'll see the breast fly, back free. You have two Burnsville swimmers. In lane 2 is Adam Schaefer. Lane 4, Everett Sandbo. And your Wildcat is in lane 5 is Mason Dietering. All right, let's see how we're doing here. Oh, my Lanta, I'm looking in the stands. Not only is this program important to the athletes, it's important to the parents. I'm looking at Terry and Dana Steffen in the stands, Jeffrey and Mary Beth Wehrman, Margie Broman, of course, is in the stands. It's good to see parents coming back, and reminder to all of those alumni, tomorrow night is the alumni meet at 6 o'clock here. The alumni are on a 26-year winning streak of beating the team, so would love to see you out there for that. So we're into this backstroke here, and Mason is doing a great job for the Wildcats, just getting her done. You'll see not doing a flip turn, making sure it's, rarely do you see a flip turn on the IM, so now he's into the breaststroke. And then the second swimmer at the turn is going to be Everett Sandbo. On your screen you see Adam Schaefer coming back, the 8th grader from Burnsville. Mason will be touching in on the breaststroke, and we're sending them off on that freestyle. The last stroke, it's just down and back for Mr. Mason now. See Everett Sandbo of the Blaze coming right to left to finish off with the freestyle. Adam Schaefer, the 8th grader in lane 2, doing nice long strokes. Mason coming in strong. This is going to be a decent time for the first time out in the year. Nice, 2:24.99. Wow. Nicely done. Compare that to some of the varsity swimmers coming in. On your screen, finishing up, you can see moving right to left is the senior Everett Sandbo for Burnsville. Lane 2, you see Adam Schaefer. Sandbo touching in at a 3:01.66. Certainly a very tiring event. I mean, to go back and forth and back and forth. As I should mention that in this IM, this is sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings, sponsor for the 200 IM. So anytime you're eating at Buffalo Wild Wings in Eagan, say you're there for the swim team, and 10% of your bill will be donated to the Eagan Booster Club. Good job. Schaefer touches in at a 3:32.46. All right, when they say stand please, that means someone was wiggling, someone was moving. There's a Burnsville Blaze racer trying to get back to his spot. All right, for your Wildcats in lane 1, that is Bidan Shrista. Lane 3, Tyler Burby. Lane 5, Ben Currens. For the Blaze in lane 2 is Luke Thorpe. Lane 4, Troy Jackson. Lane 6, Brian Choi. Shout out to VJ Shrista, who's doing all the computer work. All right, touching in is first will be Ben Currens. Lane 3, Tyler Burby touching in second, and then lane 1, Vidan Shrista. So the Wildcats are in 1, 2, 3 position right now. And the Blaze coming in Choi, Jackson, Thorpe. Love this event because the order always changes constantly. I mean, when you vary up the strokes like this, it's gonna go back and forth, back and forth. Coach Chris Morgan says if you had a dollar for every for this event, the breaststroke is a 50-cent piece. It's worth a little bit more than everything else. Little note for Tyler Burby if he's watching, we do have an official time on the pad, so there is no need to wear your wristwatch. In fact, at sections, he would be disqualified. So hopefully we'll see that come off at the next meet. All right. Breaststroke still coming on strong. Vidan trying to pull in. He gave a little look-see way over in lane 5. Ben Currens trying to see, hey, am I going to be able to catch him? Tyler Burby keeping track of his own splits. And right there in the middle. And at the turn, ooh, it is Currens by just an eyelash. I guess that isn't a watch on Burby. I think it's just a bracelet. So obviously first meet of the season, you're not exactly sure who is the fastest, but it's being determined here. For this event, Ben Currens is the fastest varsity swimmer for the Wildcats. He'll be finishing up here. Checking in at what his time is. Touches in at a 2:29.45 is Ben Currens. 2:35.65. And then in lane 1 is a 2:31 for Shrista. So Mason Dietering, he really should have been in this varsity heat. He had faster time than any of these guys. Touching in for the Blaze in 5th place was Luke Thorpe. And then in 6th place was Troy Jackson. And in 4th place was Brian Choi. So now we're at the Splash and Dash Down and Back, brought to you by Minnesota Orthodontics. It's brought to you by Minnesota Orthodontics because if you swim straight, you'll get done faster. Generous supporter of Eagan Swim and Dive. In fact, they donated all the money for the scoreboard here. All lanes are filled with Wildcats in this JV heat. Lane 1 is at the bottom of your screen. That's Ethan Schumacher, the freshman, getting keyed up, ready to go. Lane 2 is Carlos Conlon. Lane 3, Neil Nadila. Lane 4, Lucas Hanna. Lane 5, the freshman, Braden Hegenbarth. Lane 6, Neelan Ambalam, the junior. Let's see if these guys are seated properly, and they really aren't. I mean, Braden Hegenbarth, the freshman, is off to the races. Right behind him is a junior, Neelan Ambalam. Yeah, touching in, 25.69. Nicely done. Good race. All right. You see that. And we'll show the times up. Okay, and then so the times are in, and I guess you can see the times on your screen, so I won't insult your intelligence and read through them all. So that is the junior varsity. Oh, I'm sorry. That was an exhibition. So now is the junior varsity. So let me grab that fastest time here. And that was Braden Hegenbarth of the exhibition heat. And he had a 25.69. So now we're in the JV heat. All lanes are filled again. All right, we're off to the races here in lane 1, Michael Boom. Lane 3, Callan Ford. Lane 5, Aiden Smith. Lane 6, Paz Budzin. For the Blaze in lane 2, Byron Dodd. Lane 4, Trayton Bellegarde. Wow, blowing it out of the water is Aiden Smith. just coming in hot. I'm afraid of him. I don't think we're 26:57. Good job, Aiden Smith. All right, coming in next, Callan Ford. Very nice. Michael Bloom in third for the JV. That 25:69 in that exhibition heat would have been first in this JV heat. So Braden, be ready next meet. You'll be swimming in that JV rank, so be ready to go there. This brings us to the splash and dash down and back 50-yard freestyle for varsity. Chris Morgan having fun with some of the alum. Lucas Arvidsson was over there, and along with Emilio Santoyo Lopez. Caden Keene, he's been swimming for the University of Wisconsin Stevens Point. So I believe he is the only collegiate swimmer that is back this evening, as far as I can tell. Yes, that is a true statement, as far as I can see. In years past, many of the swimmers have gone Division I. Jasper Appleton, actually, on Tuesday night, Jackson Keller just broke Jasper Appleton's school record in the 100 fly. He just graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. He swam for the Panthers for 3 years. So we'll be rewriting the record board a little bit this year, I'm hoping, as we see Jackson Keller being able to swim at some of the visiting pools. Last year he opted out of swimming high school due to all the governmental restrictions, and is able to get more. We're opened up a little bit more to get some good trainings in. So. But Jackson is back this year, has committed to the University of Utah, so he'll be swimming for the Utes, which is out of my son Anders Broman was a Utah State and Logan, which is about an hour and a quarter north of Salt Lake City, so beautiful area. So we're in the 50-yard freestyle varsity. Johnny Mazuretsky's in lane 1, Dabin Chong in lane 3, Captain Harrison Bowie in lane 5, and then for Burnsville in lane 2 is Ben Edwards. Lane 4, Sam Edwards, it's a family event. Lane 6, Jack Steglich. So let's see what these times are. Oh my Lanta. Sam Edwards of the Blaze is out hot. This is an impressive swim by Mr. Edwards. 23:55 for Sam Edwards. And then coming in second with a 24:52 is Dabin Chong. And in third is Harrison Bowie, the captain, 24:92. And then Johnny Mazuretsky, the captain, 25:37. And then Ben Edwards came in fifth with the 26:68. Cleaning up the race was Jack Steglich with a 27:62. So this is going to get us into the event of diving. And so they've been warming up the boards here. I don't believe Burnsville has any divers, so relatively speaking, this will be a quick diving session. Eagan, however, has always had a strong diving program, sending at least one, if not two guys to state year after year after year. Amy Carlson is back coaching. She's working with 7 divers this year. So it'll be, even though Burnsville doesn't have any, it will be a If you're at home, grab your favorite beverage. Feel free to keep it running. And they're going to warm up the boards here. And I would imagine within 7 minutes you'll be seeing some diving. The diving order this evening is going to be Sam Axelrod. And second is Sam Amon Johnson. Oh, excuse me. First is Samson Axelrod. I'm just going to read what's on the sheet here. And then second diver is Sam Johnson. Third diver tonight will be Dylan Peterson. Fourth diver is Captain Alex Cahill. Fifth diver is Clark Amon Marshall. The sixth diver is Stone Larson. Still early on in the season, so the first diver, Samson Axelrod, will only have 5 dives on the slate. Need to go with an 11 dive list, and so but during dual meets you're only doing 6 dives. So and the way diving works is you have one coach, you have the diving coach on each team who do the judging, and then one of the officials does the judging. So we have a very active booster club. So if you ever have a kid that asks, hey, do you want to buy Gerton's flowers, say yes. If you ever because that's very important for the program, and that is behind the 8 straight section titles. So one of the evidence of that is you'll see in the corner underneath the scoreboard is a TiVo. So the boys do a dive, and then they get out of the pool, and they immediately can see how they did because it's on the TiVo replay. So that is fantastic to have that sort of equipment to reinforce what's going on. Another parent that came tonight is Doug Keene. He's in the stands. Doug is always fortunately he still has that ugly Chicago Blackhawks hat that he's always worn. So his wife did not hide that, as a good wife should. Also, I see on deck Sandy Setter. Good to see her, the athletic director, always supporting the athletes of every sport. Just fantastic, and supports the coaches in every way possible. So Chris Morgan's favorite night of the year is tomorrow night, the alumni meet. So love to have you come on board, all alumni. So we see Hans Broman and looking through the window, enjoying the glass as if he's a monkey in the zoo. All right. Looks like it's Mark there. So Andrew Michelson, it appears as if he's getting trained in as an official tonight, because usually there's only 2 officials. Tonight there are 3. So Mark Curran, whose daughter was a prolific soccer player at Eastview. Mark is a hobbyist photographer on the side. Will now give instructions to the divers. So Eagan always hosts a diving invitational, and I believe section diving is here. It's good to be on the boards that you're going to compete in, and then the state is always held at University of Minnesota. Last year, since due to all the government Not really. It was actually two different heats. So if you won your race, you still weren't sure if you actually won or not, because there's another heat in the afternoon. Another alum on the deck. That is Preston Wehrman. Definitely a gutsy swimmer in his day. He broke his arm on a church retreat, had a cast, continued to swim. He was a prolific 500 swimmer. Another alum on deck is Aiden Ford, Callan's older brother. You'll see that more and more. My name is Gus Broman. I had 3 boys in the program, Eli, Honors, and Hans. And I told Chris Morgan he cost me $75,000 because when we went to move, I wanted to make sure that my boys were coached by Chris Morgan, because I know what kind of leader and instrumental influencer he is on the game. For $75,000 cheaper, but I bought an Eagan because I wanted him to coach my kids. And to this day, the boys share the influence Chris Morgan has had on their life. So Sam Axelrod's going to be a 201A back dive straight 1.7 here. Back dives always get me a little bit nervous because that's where your chin is closest there, but it's a back dive, so we're okay because he's bending back. Scores come in 3, 2, 3. All right. Sam Johnson A will be doing the exact same dive, 201A, back dive straight, 1.7, exact same one. So you judge at home. Would you give it a 3, 2, 3 or more or less? You decide. Here it is, back dive straight. Judges say 4, 3, 3. All right, next up is Dylan Peterson. We'll be doing the exact same dive. 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. You judge at home. Oh, that was clean. What are we seeing on the scores? 4.5, 5, and 5. All right. Same dive here, 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. Captain Alex Cahill, he did not dive last year due to a knee injury in football. Every night doing the announcing, so, ooh, that was tight. Very nice. What are the scores say? 5, 4.5, 4.5. Nicely done, Captain Cahill. Clark Amon Marshall doing the exact same dive. 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. All right. All right, it seems like there's a little, they changed the dive while he was up there. It's a 201B. This will be different then. You can see at home what's the difference between an A and a B right here. Ooh, very clean. Nicely done. Scores come in, 6, 5, 5. Now we're back to A, back dive straight, 1.7 with Stone Larson. Quite clean there. Scores come in, 5, 5, 5.5. Still haven't had a situation. Can't see. Owen Kipp will be doing a 201. 201B Back dive pike 1.6. Scores come in 6, 6, 6.5. This gets us into the second round of diving. We'll be going with Samson Axelrod. He'll be doing a 401C inward dive tuck 1.4. This is the one where you're diving and do a little tuck, so get out there, don't get too close to the board. He doesn't, he's clean. Scores come in 4.5, 5, 5.5. Amy Carlson loving that dive. Sam Johnson going to be doing a 202C, back one somersault tuck 1.5. Judges, 4, 4, 4.5. And Amy Carlson thinking he did a little bit better than the other two judges, so this gets us to Dylan Peterson, a 202C, back one somersault tuck, 1.5. Still haven't seen one where all the judges have given the same score yet. So a little bit of subjectivity here. Nice dive there. Carlson comes up. Oh, there it is. 5. Bingo. You hear the boys yell bingo when they all judge the same. How ironic. I call the judges on it. Next one, they give all the same score. You'd almost think I have a microphone in their ear. Captain Cahill doing a 203C, back 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.0 difficulty. So this is his third most difficult dive that he'll be doing this evening right here. He got it. He got those legs around. Nice. Judges agree, 4.5. Bingo. Nice. All right. Clark Hammond, Marshall, 203C. Back 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.0. This is his third most difficult dive of the evening as well. Legs were a little far out, but he got them over and down. 4.5, 4.5, 4. All right, Stone Larson. 204C, back 2 somersault tuck, 2.2. Okay, this degree of difficulty, I mean, Stone is doing some tough dives tonight. His hardest one is 2.8. This is actually his second easiest at 2.2, so he definitely is a solid participant. All right, let's see what the judges say on that. 6.56. That's a bang of a score. All right, Owen Kipp going to do a 203B, back 1.5 somersault pike, 2.3. Landed that cleanly, nicely done. 5.5, 5.5, 5. Nice score by Mr. Kipp this first night of the season here. Starting the third round of diving is Samson Axelrod. 402C, inward 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. This is his second most difficult dive of the evening. Ooh, over-rotated that a little bit, and of course if you do that, the crowd cheers even more. A good encouragement by the guys. 2-2-3 gets us to Sam Johnson in the third round. Sam's going to be doing a 401C inward dive tuck, 1.4. His easiest dive of the evening. He should be able to get this pretty clean. He did this many times last year. There it is. Just really nice. Very little splash. Judges say 4, 4.5, 5. Dylan Peterson's going to be doing a 403C. Inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. Nice. Oh, his legs were perfectly straight on that entry. They are loving it. 6.66. That's a good score by Mr. Peterson right there. Very nice. Captain Cahill up. He'll be doing a 403C. Inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. I'm sorry, 401B inward dive pike, 1.5. 401B here. There it is, the inward. Oh, that was nice. 6. Oh, we're waiting on it. 5-6. All right. Clark Almond Marshall. 401B inward dive pike, 1.5. His easiest dive of the evening is right here. We saw him do this many times last year. Very clean. Look for very little splash by Almond Marshall here. Lots of experience. There it is. Nice and straight, tight ankles. Very nicely done. 6, 6.5, 5.5. Multiply that up. That's a good score. Stone Larson's going to be doing a 403C, inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. Second easiest dive that Mr. Larson will be doing here. Oh my Lanta, the number of the beast. We have a 666 count there. All right, this gets us to Owen Kipp on his third dive, 105B, forward 2.5 somersault pike, 2.6. Lineup score is 5.56. Nice. That's the fourth round of diving is going to start with Samson Axelrod, 101C, forward dive tuck, 1.2 is easiest dive that he'll be doing. So we'll see how he does there. Little overdive there. 3.5, 3.5, 4. Sam Johnson's going to do a 402C, inward 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Second most difficult dive of the evening here. Four, 4.5, 4. Dylan Peterson's going to do a 404C, inward 2 somersault tuck, 2.8. This is the most difficult dive of the night. Right here, Mr. Peterson. Oh, he gets around, and he got those legs down. Very nice. Good rotation. 4.5, 3.5, 4. Very good. Captain Cahill getting us to a 403C. Inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. Alex, I believe, is the only 3-sport athlete on the team. He was nose guard on the football team, captain of the dive team, and then he also plays tennis. Hey, bingo, 4.5 all the way across, so. All right, 403C, inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. So Almond Marshall, he's done this many times before. Good rotation, little bit off kilter on the right there, but the judges can't see that, and they reward him handsomely with a 5.5, 6, 6.5. 404C, inward 2 somersault tuck, 2.8. Okay, Stone Larson, this is 2.8. His most difficult dive that he'll do this evening is right here. 2.8. Good concentration, went off kilter a little bit, not close to the board, and we're okay. 5, 4.5, 4.5. Owen Kipp will be doing a 404C, inward 2 somersault tuck, 2.8. If you say the dive you just saw, so this is the most difficult dive that Mr. Kipp will be doing this evening. Nice, good spin, and he got down. Carlson claps her hands hard for that. 5.5, 5, 5. That gets us into the 5th round of diving. So this is going to, Samsel Axelrod is going to do a 103C, forward 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6. Got out there a little bit, but hey, got the dive done. 4.5, 4, 4.5. Good job, Mr. Axelrod. Definitely carried some yards there out in front. That was actually Sampson's last dive of the evening. This gets us to Sam Johnson, 103C, forward 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores come in, 3.5, 4, 4. This is Dylan Peterson's coming up now with a 105C, forward 2.5 somersault tuck, 2.4. Oh, he got that clean, and he entered like a knife in butter. Very nice. Bingo, 5.5 across the board. Love it. Captain Cahill, for his 5th dive, is going to do a 104C, forward 2 somersault tuck, 2.2. Ooh, he got his legs in. Nice. 4.5, 3, 4.5. I'm telling you, talk about athleticism to be able to swing around like that. That's what you look for in a nose guard and a diver. Clark and Marshall will be doing a 302C, reverse 1 somersault tuck, 1.6, an easier dive for him. Lean back a little bit, but 3, 3, 4. Marshall won't be happy with that. We've seen better, but it's early in the season. He'll clean that up. Stone Larson, 304C, reverse 2 somersault tuck, 2.3. Back. Ooh, he got all the twists in. Lands it nicely. 4.5, 5, 5.5. This gets us last diver in the 5th dive, 5134D, forward 1.5 somersault, 2 twists free, 2.6. Ooh, very nice twist. He nailed that. Oh my Lanta, that was nice. 6, 6.5, 6. You multiply that by 2.6, that's a bang of a score right there. Starting the 6th and final round of diving is Sam Johnson, going to be doing a 5121D, forward 1 somersault, half twist free, 1.7. Good rotation, got in clean. It's the most difficult dive for him of the evening. Judges agree. Bingo, 4s across. Dylan Peterson, 51-32D. Forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist free. 2.2. Ooh, kind of lost where he was in the air there, unfortunately, but something to work on. They're discussing, is it a failed dive or not? It's official, failed dive. So that's 0. Captain Cahill goes at a 302C, reverse 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Four and a half, 4-4. All right, the last dive of the evening for Clark Almond Marshall is a 104C for 2 somersault tuck, 2.2. Judges say 4.5, 5-5. Stone Larson, his last dive of the evening will be a 51-32D. Forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist free, 2.2. So look for this twist in there. It's always fun to see the twist. It surprises me every time. There it is, twist. Gets in clean, nicely done, Mr. Larson. 5.5, 5.5, 5. Good score, Mr. Kift for his last dive is 52-33D, 2 back, 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist free, 2.5. So even saying all of that, this is still his fourth hardest dive, 3rd easiest dive of the evening. Nice. Tell he's been doing club diving in the off season. It's a number of the beast, 666, and in the night. So you can tell he's last year's dive coach Jason Bauman has a dive club, and it's clear that Owen Kip has spent some time there. That it was really well done there. So good job there. So Jason Bauman is he's done some announcing for ACC and some of the other organizations. Just didn't have the time to do the to coach the high school this year. So the pool is open for warm-ups. It'll be a 7-minute warm-up, so this is a good time to go and get your beverages and some snacks, because we'll be back swimming and competing in 7 minutes here. We're going to be starting with the 100 butterfly, then go to the 100 freestyle, 500 freestyle, 200 freestyle, backstroke, 100-yard breaststroke, 400-yard freestyle. It's good to see Burnsville. I mean, they have twice as many athletes here. This coach is in his 2nd year. Unfortunately, the program doesn't say the name of the coach, but you know, it's good to see that twice as many athletes out as there were last year, and so that's a lot has to do with the coaching. So good to see him there. So the event to watch tonight is a 100-yard backstroke. The record is going to try to be broken tonight. The pool record is a 52.73, held by Parker Lemke, 2016 graduate. Jackson Keller will be swimming that, so we'll see how that goes. Jackson actually has, looking at the pool records, he has 100-yard freestyle and 500-yard freestyle. So be nice for Mr. Keller to add that 100-yard backstroke up on the board. So we'll see how that goes this evening. So back to the Eagan Swim and Dive Booster Club. A lot of generous sponsors. Definitely want to thank Elsmore Swim Shop. They've always have given generously to the program. And then also the Urgency Room. All those dives were clean, but if someone were to unfortunately hit their head, they would go to the Urgency Room. Proud sponsor of Eagan Swim and Dive. Also, good shout out for ETV Sports. We're very grateful for them broadcasting this. I believe that's Dylan up in the booth producing this. They also have a team in the gym producing a basketball game tonight. So good to see that. ETV had never broadcast Swim and Dive before last year, so we're very grateful for their participation and sponsorship. As we're letting the boys get their heart rate up and get going again, usually we have the eDive software running and the scores automatically pour in. First night is always a challenge, so unfortunately we don't have those electronically coming in tonight. So there's a lot of District 196 math going on the sidelines here. So head timer Jennifer Keller's announcing tonight on deck here. So good stuff. Alex Cahill, Captain Cahill, the diver, donning a hat, happening in lane 1. So if I was a betting man, I would guess that he'll be swimming in a relay. A lot of times they try to have a diving relay for the 200-yard freestyle, but we'll see how that goes. Divers waving up to the parents. Thank I mean, I used to think being a hockey goalie was a little tough. Then if you think about baseball, your guy is on the mound and having a pitch. Every play they're involved. Then I was introduced to swim and dive, seeing someone on the board and having to take care of business, like that is tough. I mean, if you hit your head on the board, which did happen. Alex Crow and delayed the meet. Alex was a fantastic diver, but that day just nipped his head. But it's good to see the alum over at the board there. Adi Ambalam is there along with Jacob Frost. Jacob Frost was a senior last year, went to state. And then Grant Womble, the former captain of the team as well, he's a finance major at University of Iowa. Actually is a Hawkeye scholar. So this sport, for whatever reason, attracts kids that are pretty smart and can do well in school. It's not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that. Coach Chris Morgan says, yeah, the only people that come to a swim and dive meet are family or really, 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 really good. But I'll tell you what, it's sure this discipline, and especially swimming, where you're getting up in the summers at 5 in the morning to get to the pool, is to see that. See. Also, we had a positive check-in. Here are the positive check-ins I know of for the alumni meet tomorrow night. Jared Dawson, Jack Dawson, Eli Broman, Anders Broman, Hans Broman, Lucas Arvidsson, Mitchell Arvidsson, Grant Wombold, former coach Laura Drake. Great story about Laura Drake. Emily LaBuzz was the assistant coach here for 3 to 5 years. Her last year was in 2015 when Eagan Swim and Dive won the state championship. It was the first in 15 years that someone not named Minnetonka, Edina, or Eden Prairie won. It was a great moment there at the University of Minnesota when they won the state meet. But Emily LaBuzz, after that season, retired as a coach, and to dedicate time as a mama. She now has three kids, and so they opened up applications. 75 applications came in for the assistant coaching job for Eagan Swim and Dive, to work under the tutelage of Chris Morgan. And one name rose to the top, and that was Laura Drake, a former Gustavus Adolphus swimmer. So she was here 3 to 5 years, did a lot of good cross training with the guys, did some strength and conditioning, and did a wonderful job. And really, actually, she brought this dish. I remember the name of it. It was a Czech dish, but anyway, really involved and really pressed in. But then she moved to Ireland for 3 to 5 years. So she has been off the grid, but she just got to the States this morning, so she will be here for the alumni meet tomorrow. Another important event I wanted to highlight in the Eagan Swim and Dive culture is the Hour of Power, and that happened last week. It's an event dedicated to a former father, Patrick O'Keefe, who had a daughter on the girls' team, Michaela O'Keefe, and a son on the boys' team, Garrett O'Keefe. And he passed away from cancer, and the Hour of Power was an hour that you just go all out, swim as fast as you can, and you just line the blocks, and it's a relay in each lane. So the more people you have, the fewer laps you have to swim. So that happened last Saturday. So from 9:15 to 10:15, 6 lanes. They're going as hard as they could. So it definitely part of the that happens in strong programs like this. So we definitely benefit here at Eagan High School from strong coaching, strong parents, strong booster club, strong athletic director, and it's not by accident that all of a sudden you see that you're 8-time section champions. So Okay, the diving scores just came in. We weren't quite able to hear all of them, but I'll read what I know. Samson Axelrod was first in exhibition. For JV, I'm sorry, I'll get back to the scores of diving in the 200-yard freestyle, 500-yard freestyle. This is varsity, a 100-yard butterfly. Eric Bango, lane 5 is Reese Heenis Cook for the Blaze, and lane 2 is Max Roca, 7th grader. Lane 4, 12th grader, Brian Choi. All right, this should be touching in. First turn is 28.31 at the turn. 11. Nice long strokes by Derek Bango. Doing a nice job. Gutting it out in lane 2 is Max Roca, the 7th grader. Good job by him. That dolphin kick is hard going the whole time, so. Right, touching in first is Derek Bango, 101.7. Touching in second is Reese Heenis Cook. Reese Heenis Cook, a 105.84. Touching in second was Aiden Smith with a 104.86. $123.34. 7th grader Max Roca coming in now. In 138.17. This gets us to the 100-yard freestyle exhibition. So back to the diving here. Oh, we can tell the boys are a little bit out of practice here. They're not lined up for the next event, so we'll get them all lined up and ready to go. In the exhibition in lane 1 is Callan Ford. They are all Wildcats. Lane 2, Michael Boom. Lane 3, Paz Budzine. Lane 4, Neil Nadala. So it's a down, back in the exhibition. So back to diving now. For the exhibition, Samson Axelrod, I did not get his score, my apologies. But in third place, it was Sam Johnson for JV at 114.25. In second place, Cahill with a 152.5. First place for JV was Dylan Peterson with the 161.05. And then for the varsity divers, Clark Amon Marshall finished up third with a 162.8. Second place was Stone Larson with a 212.25. And tonight's winner of the diving for varsity for Minnesota with a 243 points. So those are the official dive scores. So ranked accordingly. Alex Cahill did get a 152.5, so that was fourth or sixth best. So the JV divers did a great job, as well as the varsity divers. So all right, good job on the exhibition heat there. Exhibition just means it's not scored for the JV or varsity.
and generally it's a little bit slower times than the JV swimmers. But this early on in the season, some guys have never swum 100 before, so you just kind of have to figure stuff out. So. All right, this gets us to the varsity heat of the 100-yard freestyle. For the Wildcats in lane 1, Carlos Conlon. Lane 3, Alex. Lane 5, Ethan Schumacher. For the Burnsville Blaze in lane 2, Thomas Pritchard, the 7th grader. Lane 4, the junior, Daniel Rojas. Lane 6, the 7th grader, Miles Rador. There by Alex Bango in lane 3. Coming in at a 25.72 is his split. We'll follow his split in this. Second at the turn is the junior from the Blaze, Daniel Rojas. Alex doing a really nice job. Kick underwater. His first split was a 25.72. He's coming in now. Oops, sorry, they're not having the individual one at 1 minute. So if you take 53.61 minus 25.72, that'd give you the split. But that was his race, was a 53.61. That's a good time this early on in the season. Second place was Daniel Rojas from the Blaze. Third place was Carlos Conlon with a 1:11.37. Fourth place was lane 5, Ethan Schumacher, the Wildcat. Couple Blaze swimmers coming in to wrap it up. The 7th grader, Thomas Pritchard, in lane 2. Losing his kick a little bit, but still moving those arms. He's coming in. 1:53.4. Good job over there in lane 6, just digging. Love hearing both sides clapping like all get out for him. Just cheering. That is fantastic, Miles Rador. Feel the love, hear the cheering. Most clapping tonight was for Miles Rador. Nicely done. All right, this is the varsity event for the 100-yard freestyle. In lane 1, lining up is lane 3 will be Thomas Keller, and lane 5 is Miguel San Jose for the Wildcats. So let's see where we're at there. Tight start there. This is Thomas Keller's stroke. So, well, I said we were hiding some stuff. Now we got some speed going on. So that's big motors going on by Mr. Keller there, Thomas Keller. He dropped out of soccer to focus on swimming. Let's see where that's putting him. But Miguel San Jose, outside smoke in lane 5, coming in with the fastest split with a 24.57. Wow, 24.58 by Sam Edwards in lane 4. Who knew? Look at this. Good stuff. Miguel San Jose. Sam Edwards races in the upper part of your screen there. Miguel San Jose running away with it. Breathing is optional now. Touches in. 50.06. Nice swim. And then coming was 54 is Sam Edwards, and then Keller coming in. Thomas, that is, at 51.17. Fourth is in lane 1, Mezaretsky with the 54.89. So good swim for this time of year, especially for Miguel San Jose. Nice swim, the young one. Of course, he's not that young anymore. I mean, he's freshman last year, 8th grader the year before. That puts him at a sophomore. So he'll be, it's guys like them that he needs to keep the pedigree of the Wildcats going. So logging the time and doing the work. So good varsity swim there. All right, this is getting us to in high school. is the 500-yard freestyle. So 20 lengths of the pool. So Wildcats swimming here tonight. So it's we have Wildcat only heat with Shrista in lane 1, Vidan. See how the start goes. Vidan Shrista in lane 1. Lane 3 will win. And then in lane 5 is Riley McRoberts. So you have counters on this one. Always cracks me up. You know, for that first one, they're down there shaking the count them all because they're all important, right? So they'll count them, and as you can see on the screen, the counters are there leaning over, and there's hand signals that go on. Right now, it's just straight numbers, so it just means, hey, you're on the third length. You'll see them shake it up and down at times. You'll see them rock side to side. Means different things for different coaches, different swimmers. But usually they're rocking slowly back and forth, left to right, means hold your pace, hold your pace. If they're going up and down, that means go faster, go faster. So 34:01 was a split here for Will Win. This is Jackson Keller's stroke. He is not swimming it this evening. As I mentioned, he did not swim Minnesota School League last year, but the year before he was state champion in that. So in the 500-yard free swim it at state. But this conference does have Evan Kinseth, who definitely did a nice job at state last year. I believe he got second. So he swims club with Jackson Keller. And so it'll be fun to see at sections depending on what Jackson will be swimming this year. Swim on the same club team at Riptide. And actually, the two of them, and then if you add in Max Castle of Lakeville South, then you also have to add in Hawk and Naughton of Lakeville North. The four of them, 3 weeks ago, were at Junior Nationals. That is a club event for swimming. And they actually, the four of them, under the caps of Riptide, broke the Minnesota record at Junior Nationals. So their seed time, they dropped over 8 seconds from their seed time. The Speedo Nationals was in Austin, Texas, and so the record, it was actually held by the Aquajets. So good job by those guys, and we'll see Evan Kinseth competing against Jackson and not only the dual meet when they swim against Rosemount, but also in sections as well. So we're at the halfway point of the 500, and who do we have out in first? That is Will Win. He's at a 36:62 split, so he's added 2 seconds on his laps here, so a little bit of added time here. 36:91 in lane 5, which is Riley McRoberts, and 40.87 by splits down a little bit. They talk about a negative split. You want to save enough in the tank where you can swim the last half of the race faster than you did the first half. So I was a member of the, got to be on deck as a parent for the last 13 years. So my family actually started the year after Eagan was a coach. And so thank you to ETV for having us back. It's fun to be in the spot where we've been for the last 13 years. To be involved like this. Out of all of Eagan athletics, There's no other sport that has 8 section titles in a row than boys swim and dive. So the most decorated sport in the school. One could argue that the volleyball program is a little bit stronger. They have gone to the state championship game. They didn't go this year, but the 7 previous years they did go. But that is a well-decorated program. Straight section titles to their name. So looking up at the trophy closet, it is full. So good to see that. The bell indicates that the leader has 1 lap to go. That's a great sound if you're that. You'll see the red numbers. The red blocks means you're done. Just swim back and you're over. So it goes up to 17 and then it goes to red blocks. All right, want to keep this under 6 minutes here for the first race of the year. Let's see if Mr. Wynn can do it. Certainly he can. Comes in, touches in at a 5:49.73. Not bad for the first time of the year. Riley McRoberts digging deep. He has family overseas that always listen in and tune in to ETV. 6:07.66. Vidan Shista is coming in, kind of losing that kick. We got to keep that kick going all the way to the end. There it is, touching in. 6 minutes, 21 seconds. So good job there. This gets us to the 200-yard freestyle junior varsity. So 4 guys swim a 50. That's what this event is. Fun to see some of the alumni on deck timing. Oh, that's great. Aiden Ford and Preston Wehrman are in lane 6. Sarvidson and Caden Keene in lane 2. For the Wildcats in lane 1, that's Michael Boom. In lane 3, that's Neelan Abalam. Lane 5, that's Neil Nadilla. For the Blaze, I'm sorry, they did not. We don't have a list, but I believe by that stroke. Let me see if I can break down that stroke here for a little bit. I can't quite tell who that is. My apologies. All right, safe exchange there in the middle. That's Mason Dietering in lane 3 diving in. Just dove in as Dylan Peterson, the diver. Talk about a good start off the blocks, huh? And then lane 1, Callan Ford. So I love it. Watch Dylan lane 5. You'll see a little head up. All right, coming in lane 3, that's the Lucas Hanna, 10th grader. Dylan Peterson, the diver, just doing Tarzan swim. I love it. Head above water. Get it going. Carlos Conlon now in the pool for the Wildcats. On the blocks here in lane 1 is Paz Badzine in the water and off. Boy, we're goggle free here. Look at in lane 3, the diver, Clark Amon Marshall. No goggles. How are we going to do it? He's underwater, does a breaststroke. And now he's off to do the freestyle. Love it. Lane 5. That's the diver, Sam Johnson. He's in the water. He has goggles. Does that first breaststroke. Telling you, Coach Carlson has to work on the freestyle in the diving pool there. Blaze sends their third to last swimmer. Lane 1, Ethan Schumacher off to the races. The freshman, he's the last swimmer in the water for the Wildcats. Lane 3 touches in with a 2:02.19. That's Clark to him. Bringing back the likes of Michael Spitz, who Spitz from the 70s who would swim without goggles on. He was always interviewed asking how he felt about Michael Phelps breaking Mark Spitz's record. He's like, oh, he had goggles on. Not Amon Marshall, goggle-free. Fortunately, his parents left after. That's why we have it on ETV. I guess they'll get to play it back. Thank you, ETV. Can't quite think the crew decided that is Dylan over there for ETV, I believe. So we're grateful for his time tonight in partnership. And hats off to Paul Keller. Definitely a technical wonk. Day job. Engineer for Oracle, and he can run the Colorado, he can run Meet Manager, he can run E-Dive, he can also figure out how to hook up ETV. So we're grateful for Paul Keller, father of Jackson and Thomas Keller, allowing this program to be broadcast on the interwebs so you people in overseas and locally can watch us. So last year we had people call in, and please type the comments on YouTube if you're watching so we know that we have viewership to keep this going. Last year we had folks from Ireland, Colorado, I believe it's Australia, England, Nepal. So make sure that you type in the comments so we know that the efforts here are worth it. It isn't easy hauling this equipment into a pool area here. Exciting times here. This is a 200-yard freestyle relay. In lane 1 is Braden Hegenbarth. Lane 3, Jackson Keller. Lane 5, Miguel San Jose. Lane 2 for Burnsville is Luke Thorpe. Lane 4 is Matthias Wong. Jackson Keller, first time in the water for him. Not defending state champion, but in the 2 and the 5. So he'll swim the last 4 events. Harrison Bowie in second. Lane 3. And then lane 1 is Tyler Burby. Lane 5 is Dabin Chong for the Blaze. And lane 2 is Daniel Rojas in the water. And lane 4 is Justin Joubert. We're looking in these, looking good in the middle of the pool. Ben Currens is going to be off in the water for the Wildcats. Lane 5, that is Vidan Shrista. Lane 1, Johnny Mezaretsky. Diving right now, and there's Brian Chewy for the Blaze already in the water. Sam Edwards already making that turn coming in. Final swimmers on the blocks for the Wildcats in lane 3. That is Thomas Keller, son of Paul Keller. Right next in the water is Jack Steglich. And then in lane 5 is Alex Bango. Good to see Captain Cahill swimming in lane 1 as the anchor on this varsity relay. Coming in now is Thomas Keller to finish this up. 1:35.34. That's a good time this time of year. Lane 5 finishes at a 1:40.56. Captain Cahill working hard, riding that lane line, touches in. Lane 1, 1:48.13, beating that B relay of Burnsville. Comes in at a 1:53.22. Good slate of events for Captain Cahill tonight. I mean, you can be a nose tackle, you can play tennis, can dive, and you can swim in a 2-free relay. Love it. Next event is the 100-yard backstroke junior varsity. So I love putting the cart before the horse. I kind of live by that. It's an optimistic kind of viewpoint. Many times I'm disappointed, but that's okay. It's fun to talk. But looking at the backstroke, the pool record is at a 52.73, which is slower than the boys record, which is a 49.51. That can be explained simply because the boys record is usually done at state when the boys are shaved, tapered, and ready for that last meet of the season. You're never shaved and tapered for a pool record and a dual meet. So what you're seeing here is the 100-yard backstroke junior varsity. Lane 1 for the Wildcats is Kuldup Rachabatuni. Lane 3 is Will Wynn. Lane 5 is Tyler Burby. The Blaze are occupying lane 2. That's Trayton Bellegarde. And then lane 4, Max Roca. All right, it's fun to look at this because the backstroke, the flags, the only time the flags really pertain in swimming is for the backstroke. So as you'll see in lane 3 there, Will Wynn, as soon as he sees the backstroke flags, he counts how many, 1, 2, 3 strokes, and then I know I have to flip. And so it's a very technical stroke. You just can't go as fast as you want. You have to have practiced this day in and day out to know how many strokes you are away from touching. And now what you'll see is when Will Wynn touches in, he'll probably go underwater to get that nice quicker touch. So touches in at a 109.71, the freshman does, and lane 5 is a 113.71 for Tyler Burby. Kuldeep Ratchabituni touches in at a 118.43. The Blaze coming in for the 7th grader. Max Roca touches in at a 134.98. And lane 2 is Trayton Bellegarde, 145.26. All right. Do you think Jackson Keller will break this record? The record is at a 52.73. Jackson is, I mean, let's be honest, sectionals was December 10th through the 13th down in Austin, Texas. We're at the 21st of December, so that's 11 days that he could have held on to that shave and taper. We'll see how that's going. So he's in lane 3. In lane 1 is Reese Heenis Cook. Lane 5 is San Miguel San Jose. For the Blaze in lane 2 is Troy Jackson. Lane 4 is Matthias Wong. Lane 6 is Justin Joubert. So Keller is getting a nice underwater. It's going really fast. Candidly, Matthias Wong is doing a nice job. Keller at the turn is at a 20. That's going to be tough to come back at earlier than that, but it is a backstroke. Let's see if he has more in the back half. Remember, Matthias Wong in lane 4 swam the 200 free as a backstroke event, so we'll see how that is. Jackson getting a nice underwater there, doing that dolphin kick. We're at a 48 clock time here now. He's coming in. The pool record is not touchable. It is a 54.75. Great swim, not a pool record. Matthias Wong at a 57.06. And lane 5 is Miguel San Jose, 59.31, breaking that 1 minute mark. Lane 1 is Reese Heenis Cook at a 108.34. And then lane 2 is Troy Jackson at a 114.53. Coming in is Justin Joubert, the senior, at a 125.95. I cannot tell you how great it is to see the number of athletes for the Burnsville Blaze doubled. This is fantastic. All right, junior varsity breaststroke. For your Wildcats in lane 1, that is Lucas Hanna. Lane 3 is Braden Hegenbarth. Lane 5, Neelan Ambalam. For the Blaze in lane 2, Adam Schaefer. Lane 4, Calvin Choi. Lane 6, Nolan Johnson. It's good to see the boys back up and cheering, going crazy. Good stuff. Lucas Hanna getting into it. The race is in the middle, though. That is Braden Hegenbarth in lane 3 going stroke for stroke with Calvin Choi. Nice. Gained a half a body length on that. Well done. Technique is everything. It's a sport of science. I'm telling you, this is fantastic. That's why when I go swimming, I get the best workout ever. I'm so inefficient and my stroke is horrible, but I burn thousands of calories because I'm so bad. Good job, good turn there. Hagenbart doing a really nice job. Long strokes, good glide. Almost like a speed skater, just getting it done. Does he do one more stroke? Sure does. Finishes it off with a 1:17.12. Choi touches in at a 1:23.19. Ambalam touches in at a 1:26.88. Nicely done. Lucas Hanna coming in. One more. Good. I don't think Lucas swam the breaststroke much last year, so it's good to see him trying different events. I strongly encourage him to cut the streamline, having two strands that go a foot down your back, but he'll watch tape and correct that by next meet, I'm hoping. Nolan Johnson, lane 6, getting it done. I mean, if you think about it, if boys are shaving for the final meet, if you're dragging like 2 cords that are like a foot long, lane 6. All right, this gets us to the final individual race of the evening. So Jackson Keller definitely backloaded on this meet tonight, doing the last 4 events. So he'll be doing the breaststroke. Lane 1 will be Dobbin Chong. Lane 3, Jackson Keller. Lane 5, Thomas Keller. Be bragging rights in the Keller household. For the Blade in lane 2 is Everett Sandbo. Lane 4, Ben Edwards. Lane 6, Luke Thorpe. Looks like the bragging rights might go to the old boy tonight. Nice turn there. Good underwaters. 100-yard breaststroke. Fun story about the breaststroke. The pool record is by Max Stigman. The boys' record is by Q Steffen. So they're both in the same year. At state, the year that we won state, that both of them finished in the top 8. So definitely a deep year in the breaststroke that year. They were going back and forth. Iron sharpens iron, getting faster and faster. So Wildcats looking good here at a 1-2-3 here. Thomas getting up and out of the water, doing a nice job. Jackson, one more stroke will finish it off. He's in at a 1:03.79. It's a great time for Jackson Keller. Thomas Keller touches in at a 1:10.67. And then in lane 1, Dobbin Chong with a 1:10.73. Lane 4 is Ben Edwards touching in at a 1:22.93. Lane 2, 1:28.52 by Everett Sandbo. And lane 6 finishes off the race with a 1:29.91. That is Luke Thorpe. 400 free relay. Good memories on the 4 free relay. 2 years ago at Rosemount, the meet came down to this race and it was just hopping. Wildcats were about a body length and a half behind. Jackson Keller was an anchor swimmer. Super exciting, finished it off. History would repeat itself at the section finals, where Eagan was going for its 7th section title in a row, 7 in a row, and they had to win that race. They were behind in the meet, and once again, Eagan was behind by length and a half. Jackson Keller swam anchor and touched in, and it was the loudest I've ever heard at a section meet. Place went crazy, clinching that 7th section meet. So, 7th section title in a row. So now we're in the 4 free relay junior varsity. In the water in lane 1 is Mason Dietering. I'm gonna have to get the correct pronunciation. I might be Dietering, so please leave feedback on the YouTube channel. We check that throughout the week. So lane And unfortunately, I don't have the names in lane 4 for Burnsville. And they don't have them on the cap, so my apologies. Coming in lane 3 is Mason. He'll be touching in, sending off Riley McRoberts. Little deep on that, came up, but he's ready to race now. Entry in lane 5 is Neelan Ambalam. His older brother, Ambalam, was a diver, so it's multi-talented family. They can swim, they can dive, they can do both. Good flip turn there. Riley McRoberts wants to make sure he had a good breath there going into that. Neelam, nice smooth turn there. Second swimmer for the Blaze is on the blocks, getting ready to go. Gutty performance there in lane 4. Not easy to go the 100. Aiden Smith is on the blocks, ready to go as the third swimmer there. And he's off. Safe start there. Both hands touched in by Riley McRoberts. Lane 5, Neelan Ambalam is touching in. Braden Hegenbarth is off to the races, the freshman. Nice long strokes by the Blaze there in lane 4. Aiden Smith, nice long and strong, big kicks there, as you can see there in lane 3. Smith is wrapping up. Reese Heenas Cook is on the blocks, a junior. Nice running start there, Heenas Cook. It's fun to see the different relay starts. He had that foot behind and then was able to almost leap in as if he's doing the long jump there. So lane 5 will win in the water. The Blaze send in their third swimmer. Nice finish there. Lane 5 by Will Wynn, and then he flip turns. Nicely done. Look at Reese Heenas Cook's power in the legs. You just keep that. The kick is underwater. Every time he kicks, he's kicking water and moving fast. You think the swim is in the arms, but it's really in the legs. Touching in at a 4:04.27. Blaze have a guy and a half left here. Nice touch in there by Will Wynn in lane 5. Blaze in the water, going like crazy. Once again, I'm sorry I don't have the names, but back to the Burnsville swim and dive team. It's great to have a second-year coach who's in it for the long haul. I mean, they used to be the creme de la creme in the state of Minnesota. Dennis Dale, former coach there, ended up going to swim at the University of Minnesota and was the coach there. And he, before he went there, he had a swimmer by the name of Chris Morgan for the Burnsville Braves at the time they were called. And he swam with a guy by the name of Jim Marshall. Jim Marshall, last swimmer for the Blaze in the water. Jim Marshall has a dad. His first name slips my mind. I believe it is Jim Marshall Sr., I believe. he is the lead official for swim and dive in the state of Minnesota, and so he still is in the sport. And his son Jim Marshall is now the athletic director at Prior Lake High School. So a lot of swimming pedigree came out of that Burnsville High School. So it's good to see them doubling their numbers and being back and competing. And they always have one or two guys that are quite good. Haven't been able to put together a relay, but I'd say look at the Blaze in the next 2-3 years, and they'll be back having fielding relays and being back in the South Suburban. But look at the sportsmanship here. The Wildcats are cheering for the Blaze as much, if not more, than the Blaze. So that's what this sport does. You bring it out. You don't see it in hockey where someone scores and both teams cheer. So that's this brings us to the last event of the evening, the boys 400 freestyle relay varsity. Burnsville will have be in lanes 2 and 4. All right, they're in the water, and lane 3 for Wildcats is junior Ben Currens. For Burnsville Blaze, and lane 2 is Adam Schaefer. Lane 4 is Pierre Demoulin. Each boy swims 100. Let's see where this ends up. San Jose first to flip, second to San Jose going like gangbusters. It's good to see the boys lined up and cheering like all get out. All right, on the blocks in lane 3 is Harrison Bowie, the senior captain. He's on the blocks getting ready, and watch that little jump, little step jump. That was very nice. Lane 5, Alex Bango. Lane 4, Troy Jackson in the water. Lane 2, Adam Schaefer coming in hard for the Blaze here. Good flip turn there in lane 3 by Harrison Bowie, getting that underwater there. In the water in lane 2 is Calvin Choi for the Blaze. Ready for his flip turn in lane 4 is Troy Jackson, the senior. Lane 3, Harrison Bowie is wrapping up, and Derek Bango is on the blocks, ready to go. Watch that relay start, comes over and does a little quick jump. It's always fun seeing him step over and get that extra push. Lane 5, Tyler Burby, the sophomore, in the water. Lane 4, Justin Joubert is in the water, the third swimmer for the Blaze. Bango swimming his last 50 of the night. Jackson Keller on the blocks as the anchor for the Wildcats, a familiar spot for him. One of my favorite stories about Jackson Keller is he was being interviewed after winning the 200 freestyle relay by the paper. This is at the state meet, and all of a sudden he needed to be on the blocks. Hans Broman grabbed him out of the media tent to say, you're swimming, bro, let's go. So Jackson hustled over and did his duty, and the team did real well at the state meet that year. That was in 2019. Jackson Keller in the water. Look at that big kick there. One of the best swimmers in the state. Delight to watch, the big power. But more than being a great swimmer, great kid. Love his sense of humor. So he's going hard. All right, in lane 4, Ben Edwards on the block. Off for the Blaze. Flip turn there in lane 5 is Captain Mezaretsky. Jackson Keller touching in for a 3:24.74. So you'll see that relay change quite a bit, depending on if we're swimming against Prior Lake or what have you. So, all right, lane 5 touching in, Captain Mezaretsky. Lane 2 sending off the last swimmer, junior Daniel Rojas, in the water, going hard, a little deep on that dive, but boy, he's got the motor in the back. Doing a nice job there, Rojas. Good flip turn. Both teams cheering for him at the end of lane 2. Lane 4, Ben Edwards, a junior, touching in for the Blaze to finish at relay off at a 4:15.09. Rojas does a flip turn. Working hard. Big, strong kid, man. Telling you, if you want to be fit and if you want to burn calories, swimming is the way to do it. Most efficient way to burn calories. Rojas coming in strong. The next event for this Wildcat team is tomorrow night, the alumni meet at 6 o'clock. Please come. Bring your friends. It's as much of a social as athletic. Rojas touching in at a 4:58.90. Good job getting underneath the 5. Gives Jackson Keller the fist pump. So we're so grateful for ETV for being here tonight. So grateful that they're able to broadcast this. Please leave a comment on YouTube so we know that you're out there. Special thanks for Paul Keller organizing this. And grateful for Margie Broman for being here. Be kind, be joyful, go Wildcats. This is Gus Broman for ETV.